A very good morning to you and welcome to Good Morning Anambra Monday morning edition. How are you? How was your weekend? Sure you had a good weekend. No doubt, the weather is very, very friendly now. Nobody complains about heat. It's either it's raining or it rains somewhere, so it's cold in your area, whichever one. Welcome. My name is Tijama Ifi. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning again. I'm happy that I'm alive, and I'm sure you are too. So,
good morning. My name is Obin. Had a great weekend, and today is hepatitis testing day. I don't know if you guys do that occasionally. So today is the day to remind us about checking yourself, running tests, either hepatitis A, B, C, D. So take your health really very seriously.
Okay, so we'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll bring you press review. Welcome again. This morning, Obina, let's see what's trending.
Yeah, I'll be going to we'll be sharing with you some of the major headlines in front of the ABS website. So we have Community Festival, Anambra State Government cautions against violence, extortion, public disturbances by a masquerade. I believe we're talking about the Imoka festival.
And every other festival, as a matter of fact.
All right. We also have Anambra State Government States resolved to nab fleeing killers of Aguleri community.
Okay. Community PG Barrister Ilua Kasia. Okay. Salute the months father of Abga National Chairman, Chief Sylvester Chukwudozie Ezokenwa. Oh, so bad. Abga National Chairman Ezokenwa restricts party advocacy of progressive strategic governance and partnership.
okay, and we have this missing oil revenue. Sarah seeks explanation. Oil revenue. Operation Gideon's Chariot. Israeli forces besiege hospital in northern Gaza. These are what we have on ABS website this morning. Do well by joining us through absradiotv.com and then get all the juicy stories.
Okay, and let's look at this first story about festivals and the harassment of citizens on the road because people are celebrating. You know, when you mentioned Imoka, I say it's not just Imoka, it's every other festival. I know what it's like if you are moving on the old road when they're celebrating a bag and people are celebrating Aro. What do they call it? Something Aro.
Is it Iguaro?
What is Iguaro?
Iguaro is Enugu.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yotago. So I know what it's like if we are moving on that road, move from Onitsha to Oka to Onitsha, it's like that. Then Ogidi, when Ogidi is celebrating Ogidi, thank you. So it's not just Imoka, it's all the festivals. These ones are just on the road. The other towns that are, maybe Newi side, Aguleri side, and then Epulobia side, it's like that everywhere. Perhaps that's why the Commissioner Don Onyenji is making the same fuss.
There was a jingle I watched, a video clip I watched. Don was visited by Mom in his office, and they were discussing. He now told him to go and tell his people they want them more. And that was during the time a masquerade killed a man in Nebo. Just because he asked him for money and the man didn't have money. He's a Christian, he doesn't believe in the moon, which is his right, So the next thing they killed him.
How? With what?
I think he flogged him or something. They
flogged him to death.
Killed the man. Even the son came here asking us to help them get justice. And all these. So I don't know how they got how far they came to having justice, but we've sent them to the ministries that are involved. So I think people should be mindful of. Okay. Consider the mom that was killed by Keke.
I wanted to say that maybe this year the spirit killed the other year. This year the human retaliated and killed Mom.
She was in a heated argument where they were asking, will the mom will they prepare a poster for the burial of the mom or the more and the mom.
Yeah.
I said
they will do it the way they do it in the in the spirit world.
I got some of the reports I got about the death of the masquerades.
And he's an only son,
son,
only
son of the spirit.
So they said
of the spirit father.
So they said they had to extract the brain from the body, buried it, then had to burn the body with the masquerade. I didn't know how true this, but these are some
we need to investigate that. I don't
so these are some of the things that happened.
What did they do with the brain?
No, I heard that they buried the brain. Like they had to harvest the brain from the head.
Which doctor did that for them?
They did it locally. They had to.
But we need to investigate this. It could be hearsay.
No.
It could be rumor.
Okay, it could be rumor, but these are people because according to reports, he's from Amiko in Oka. So neighbors around there,
nobody sent him.
people around there said that was what the family did, but we've not confirmed the story, like you said.
We need to confirm.
Mom does not have
a brain.
No, it doesn't even have how do I put it? It doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from the street world.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's from Amipo, the spirit of Amipo, or whatever, whichever one. Mom should not die in the hands of Mado. Neither should Mado die in the hands of Mom. Or you want to maintain or lane, yeah? You want to go? I don't know.
Yes, let's quickly go to Delhi Sun.
Yeah, before we go to Delhi Sun, let's commiserate on behalf of the Good Morning Anambra team and the staff and management of Anambra Broadcasting Service. Commiserate with the African National Chairman, Barrister Sly Ezokenwa, on the death of your father. Please, our condolences. Okay, we move now.
All right, so the Daily Show we have on the major headline there, we're seeing terrorist attack. Governor Zulum declares fast. And a kicker to that, we'll have 15 farmers killed in a fresh Benue assault. Then another 15 in Kebbi. Government pays 4 million naira compensation to families. Troops intensify offensive against terrorist bandits. All right, still on the Daily Sun, we have Ondo Mons as kidnappers do what? I really couldn't see that clearly. And then we still have why millions of Nigeria may never own a home. And kick out to that, cost of building doubles in 3 years. Experts blame poor wage policy gaps. Catholic bishops will be in Rome, calls for unity. And these are the major headlines in front of the Daily Sun newspaper.
And we'll join it with the Daily Times, where we have 80-year-old ex-convict, 82-year-old grandma arrested as NDLEA intercepts 3.2 billion naira opioids. Grandma.
They may not really have known that those things were stacked there. That's what I felt when I saw that story.
Some may be accomplished too.
Okay, now we have Benue professionals ask Governor Alia, DSS military to end killings. Traffickers peddling drugs through Kaduna, Katsina to Niger, says, to Niger, says police. These are the headlines.
Okay, from Punch newspaper. 2027 coalition, Atiku camp offers Obi VP role in one-term deal. Whatever they mean by that. Opposition leaders may dump SDP for ADC as new coalition platform. Now, Magaleno. And here, federal government's electricity debt balloons by 800 billion naira. Senate. Japa Dr. Drain devastates 12 states. And what other thing do we have coming here? Okay, Tinubu approves licenses for North oil projects. The Kwara government or governor urges calm after boat tragedy claims 37 lives. This is just what you hear in this country. No good news to, lively up your soul. Lagos probes Castina workers' recruitment by Dangote refinery. That's all coming from here.
Okay, so let's talk a bit before.
Okay, before then, CBN slashes federal government loans by over 4 trillion naira. That story is on top of the NEN template. Okay, and Tinubu Obi Fayemi shared light moments at Pope's inauguration. Okay, that's all. Yeah. Okay. Ify, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, when you were talking about, the Atiku camp offering the BVP role in one-term deal, I just smiled and said, they are regrouping. they are camping, but then everybody should be very, very, very careful what you're being offered before you lose the confidence of people. Confidence. I think now people are.
So who wants to do one term? I think who wants to do one term, and then hand over to Obi. Is this not a monkey can't chop banana?
No, I do not think. They're not clear on really what what.
Or both of them doing one term.
Yeah.
So it can't be both of them. I think he does one term, Obi does another term.
But the question, why should Obi do the VP? Is he not qualified enough to become president?
There's nothing wrong about doing VP, but the fact is that these things have to be clear. I mean, have to be determined how it's going to run, because I don't see a president that won and has not been a president for the first time doing only one term. That's why I say let it not be monkey can't chop banana, and when the monkey comes, they catches it. But apart from that,
I think it's a Greek. It could be a Greek gift.
Yes.
So you don't know what is in it, and it's well packaged. Then you come and then
good. But some political analysts are asking, you have Muscle, Atiku, and you know Obi has the popularity. So why don't you package him as the president? Okay.
Yes.
Why is it that a statement we don't
give him the support?
Yes,
as a really want to help Nigeria.
Okay.
You know.
So why can't you do that? Why does everybody want to lead Ijama, and it's only me that doesn't want to lead anybody? That's not good enough.
Or you find it difficult you find it difficult to say Ijoma should lead, so it's a problem. It's a very difficult.
Even
problem.
when you know he has better deal on
the
table,
capacities and all that,
based
on his track records and all that. But
yes.
Let's see what happens. But
so why don't we leverage on that? This guy has the popularity and the love of people. Let us package him, as the head of the coalition and push him out.
I think it's time. It's high time. Our leaders, all these prominent politicians get together to get a candidate because of who he is. And then if you really want to think Nigeria and then help Nigeria, it's high time you started packaging one person that is credible for the first time.
Thank you for that. If the
person is being ruled by a military man, but a man that has a heart for his people. That's what we need now. We don't need party. We don't need popularity. Or people who have been in politics for more than 30 years. I don't think we need
people that their politics is their profession. That writes why they fill their form. What's your profession? Politician. Okay. So, but what we're trying to say, I got what you said here. Let it be that you have Nigeria in mind, not yourself.
Yes.
That is the only time they can do this.
That's
okay? When your intention is to make Nigeria better, when your intention is to give Nigeria what they want, when your intention is to get somebody that will give Nigeria what they desire, that is when you can now come together and give and package one person. Stop being selfish.
And Nigeria is
Let's see if we can move.
All these things happening, killings here and there. I think we need to rethink. For the first time, let's think Nigeria. Because Nigeria is actually fading out. It's fading away.
It is.
We need to get
one also has to have that political alignment. I think that's one of the things Obi is doing. You need, whatever, intention you have, and you do not have the political alignment, it may really be very difficult. So let's see what happens.
Okay. I'm being attracted by this story about an 80-year-old ex-convict. It's 2-year-old grandma. This is it's not funny, but it's very serious. Arrested as NDLEA intercepts 3.2 billion naira opioids. Does it mean that those old people didn't know the implications of carrying drugs or what? What really happened?
Sometimes, subject to reports, like when you see NDLEA report, you see that sometimes the accomplices or accessories are usually
these guys try to make do with people that can not easily be suspected. Sometimes you see madmen being part of this, like call it triangle, this gang. You see old people, like we've seen, you see people deaf and dumb, you see beggars in the streets. So this is it's normal. When you go through the NDLEA reports, you keep seeing reports like this. So
yeah, but what I'm saying, in this case of this grandpa and grandmas, Okay, they might not really be accomplice. So what, don't you think
One is
that
an
because
ex-convict.
maybe
Remember
because
that one is an ex-convict.
depending on what the crime he committed, okay? Don't you look at the situation whereby they say these ones are old, maybe the NDLEA will not search them to find out if they have something, so let's plant this in their baggages. I don't understand. It could be.
That one joined, but I know that, reports, when you go through NDLEA reports about them, apprehending drug persons, people with illegal or illicit drugs, you see these stories, you see them either with mad people, you see them old people, you see
I wonder
stories.
what an 82-year-old grandma wants to do with what you call drug money at this age.
Money, they are old, so
Where
some
did they
of
really
them,
get it from?
so they just the money. They are more like we do not know the facts, not facts. We just probably from the headlines, but probably if you look at the stories, you see that it's a whole lot.
Okay, now then it's on this story about Zulu declaring fast, because of terrorist attacks. I don't know how you see that.
People are confused these days. Nobody knows what to do.
Declaring a fast. So after fasting,
what happens?
Boko Haram will cease to exist. Well, that's nothing that prayers cannot do. Fast means
I think you fight.
They want to join it spiritually.
I've not heard where they made preparations. Where they said they made preparations to fight against Boko Haram and all other insurgents. Do you understand? So if I had heard that, I said, okay, you back it up with prayers, so that your soldiers will not be killed, so that you will triumph. God will give you, victory. But this time around is that the governor seems not to know what he's doing. He seems clueless. He seems to have just prayers as the only alternative he has, that he can offer his people.
Yeah, Zulum has been up and doing. Maybe this time he seems confused. If you want me, I'll bring you one. He doesn't know. Yes, he doesn't know what to do again.
Things and something like that. But I believe there's nothing that's happened in this country that the government is not aware of.
But I think, okay, have you seen recent confessions by people in the past? Recent confessions by people who worked with government in the past of how they wanted to defeat Boko Haram and then they were called out of the scene.
And these are some of the issues. You see,
I think this thing should be investigated, and people who did that should be brought to book. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Nigerian army.
Who will bring them to book?
Most of them, you see the
if the people that will bring them the book are the people committing the crime, so who does
most of them are
I don't think it's everybody in the government that is complacent to this.
Most of them are running away. Most of them are retiring quickly because of how the situation is. It seems like Nigeria is really not intentional in fighting Boko Haram.
So let's get to the next.
So it's a problem.
I think it's high time we started fighting Boko Haram and other.
Yeah, we'll join in with that other story. We're still talking about insecurity and what is bringing to the table. I was looking for that story where they said that
15 farmers killed.
Yeah,
it's a kicker.
90 farmers. No, 90 farmers.
It's on Zulu.
Okay, 90 farmers killed in 5 months. Okay, and then we are talking off the camera, and I was asking. You said there's hunger now. I wonder what it's going to look like in the next 2 or 3 years if we keep losing our farmers this way. 90 farmers killed in 5 months under this kind of insurgency. And nobody is doing anything. Perhaps you feel you have money, you can always import what? One of the rice species that was imported, we imported the other day, was the one that they are reporting that is not edible. It's not good for consumption. And now you allow the farmers that are giving us organic food to be destroyed anyhow. No nation runs like that. Let us find out what is our problem and tackle it. And when we say this, it's because we are talking about who is going to control who. The kind of constitution we have here have vested all the powers on the president. Okay? And that's why they call him the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So everything depends on him. If he wants insurgency to stop today, it will stop today. It's as simple as that. So there's no need calling any other person than the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Stop insurgency, please. Let's see whether we can exist for the next 5 years.
Okay, let's skip stories that we've already taught as we go through, because we have just about 5 minutes to go on this show. So we will now take Vanguard.
Yes, on the Vanguard we have herdsmen, bandits striking Benue, Kebbi, Imo, Ondo, kill 33. And a kicker to that to see state police will stem tide of insecurity coming from Afenifere. Zulum begs federal government not to allow Mate fall. All right. We also have manufacturing sector rebounds as revenue profits soar. That's on page 19. Pope Leo the 14th inauguration, Nigeria's unity in diversity, work in progress. Copy from the president. Tinubu meets Obi Fayemi Catholic bishops at the Vatican. Abdul Razak mourns as 37 passengers drowned in Kwara boats in Shap. And then, all right, President Bola Tinubu right, exchanging pleasantries with Pope Leo the 14th at the installation mass for the new Pope in Rome yesterday. So these are the major.
Next paper is this day, which says Lobobiri, $5 billion African Energy Bank in final stage before kickoff, and then do not let matter fall. Okay, we've taken it before. Tinubu meets Pope Leo. I think these are the stories that they have. Let's get to the next paper.
Let's convert our diversity to prosperity, says Tinubu. It's the same story. Let's move over to another paper.
On the Guardian, we have MPC at crossroads over rate hike amid sticky prices, global uncertainty, and that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. UBA seeks to join suit challenging sale of IBEDC, that's the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company. Mambila Royal Council honors Adesonya as daughter's wedding. Many trapped, 3 rescued as building collapses in Lagos.
Okay. Daily Trust.
Okay, go ahead.
Automatic tickets, contract fueling defections to APC. Okay, now you know why people are moving in drones. How Boko Haram killed 90 farmers in Borno. Okay, that's the story we have talked about. Down here, bandits kill 49 in Katsina, Kebbi. This is what you hear on daily basis. Tell me how anybody can be sent in this type of country. Killing, killing, killing. Let's look at Tribune, the last paper, if you.
Okay, and in Tribune we have this. Tinubu says, okay, at Pope Leo's inauguration, Tinubu says Nigeria's unity in diversity, work in progress. Okay, Kwara governor sympathizes with families of 27 victims lost in boat tragedy. Insurgency, Borno government goes spiritual, declares statewide fasting and prayers. And kidnappers kill APC ward chairman in Ondo after collecting 5 million naira ransom. Impact of glowing inflation. Okay, it says CBN's MPC faces fresh tax as over 90.5% of Nigeria's currency circulates outside bank. Really? Okay, well, why Nigerian aviation industry did what? Sector's growth.
Okay.
Why Nigerian aviation sector's growth retards? This is coming from the experts. So it's
okay, that's it. So we'll talk a bit.
Okay, let's look at the automatic tickets that are being given to, that are being promised to politicians, and that's why they are moving to form one party state in this great nation called Nigeria. Okay, which one is automatic tickets? You don't go for primaries.
We saw what happened in Anambra State, where somebody from the Labour Party, a very prominent Labour Party person, moved to the APC, hoping that he was going to become the running. He was going to run under the party of the APC. We saw what happened. I do not think the court will interfere. It's an internal matter. So I do not think the court will tell them what to do about that. So these are the things we are seeing. We saw the report of the NANS president, being reported. So these are some of the things you're seeing about the APC. And it's a question about the ideology of the party. What do they stand for?
If they have
every
one.
time the APC has, probably, I'm not trying to, fight them or say something, but from their track record, for every time the APC has been in power, we've seen things not really going well. So the APC has to come together and question their ideology. Are we just here for power grabbing, or are we here for good governance?
I don't know. And once you get the power, you don't even know what to do with it again. Look at what is going on in a nation that you struggled, you did everything possible to grab power. Now you have grabbed the power. What are you doing with it? Nothing. On a lighter note, before we close, this story that keeps coming. Tinubu says Nigeria unity, this and that. I think I read that story where they go out in Rome to become one family and then be joking and cracking jokes and enjoying themselves, and we're here dying of hunger. Okay, Fayemi, I think the story was that Fayemi told Peter that let's go and say hello to Tinubu.
Yes.
Okay, because Fayemi is the former governor of Ekiti State, is that right? Okay. So they went to greet him, and then he said, okay, that he is the one supposed to welcome you guys because he is the head of the delegates of Nigerians that has come to Rome. And Peter Obi said, no problem, you are our head. Okay, so if you look at the...
It was a joke. Was it really a joke?
Yeah.
Was he trying to impress on Peter?
It was a senior joke.
Yeah,
But they have to say things, you know. You have
that
to.
thing wasn't in contention.
That he's in
People
charge.
were invited differently.
Yeah.
You know, on different pedestals. So anybody that you see here, you saw there that was invited, is actually prominent, and
I'm telling
the
you.
person where
And Obi didn't just sit anywhere.
yes.
He didn't sit anywhere.
And they didn't even come with him. So they were not part of his delegates. They came on their own. Okay, if you look at the front page of the Daily Times, you see the pictures where they are cracking jokes and letting the world know that Nigeria has no problem. No problems. We don't have any problem. But please, let us build this country.
Please.
Let us build
But
this
after
country.
cracking those jokes, they'll come back to reality where people are crying. If you're not crying because of a hike in food prices, you know, or hardship in the economy, you're crying of insecurity. You're crying that a lot of people have been killed.
Can we just quickly on the Vanguard? Well, I think.
Mr. Mrs.
Please quickly. No, not Mr. and Mrs. Manufacturing sector rebound. No, that's not where they were talking about finding difficult to build homes now in Nigeria. That's a very difficult problem now. People cannot even pay the rent. Okay, say you want build. A bag of cement is going for almost 11,000 naira. It's a problem. So
And you ask me how many bags you need to buy to build a hut.
You know, you're not
A
trying to
hut.
just build
A hut. That's it now.
Do you understand? Even those that had buildings that they built with little money, they are hiking the prices, but they need to maintain the houses
the buildings
as well.
and all that.
Are you justifying them?
I'm not justifying that.
What are they maintaining? Once you start living in their house, you maintain whatever that's spoiled, they ask you to maintain it. So what are they doing with the maintenance money? They should have
It's
a...
actually an investment. Do you understand?
It's an investment, so relax and be eating your money.
They also just like when you buy something now, and you bought it maybe at 80 naira, pay back, and then in the market now it sells at 120. You can't just sell yours at 80 naira. You have to hike it to 120 because after selling you won't have the money to go and buy at 120. That's what people do.
I thought you were a representative. I didn't know I'm talking to a businesswoman. Okay, we must go. Thank you very much. This is a press review, and this is where we're drawing the curtain on press review. That's Monday morning edition. Join us tomorrow for our fresh package. My name is Sijoma, and I have Ife and Ubina with me. In a very short while, we invite you back to the table to have some discussions with the guests that will be joining us then. Bye for now.